Welcome back to That's Just Lola, where we are having cyborg conversations that you would really like to know about. Well, we can't tell you because we've been told that we need to break that shit down just a little bit.
Side talk?
Yeah, not the side talk, but
talking about?
The raciness.
Oh.
You all may not have noticed, but we now have a disclaimer at the beginning of our show which says, don't bring your Rugrats to watch this show.
Ever.
Ever.
You don't know what's going to come out of Lola's mouth.
Or Melanie's.
You
don't know.
Docile one. I don't say
y'all
so.
know. Y'all watch. Y'all know what's going on. And we want you to make sure. What? Tell a lie. Go ahead. Right. Make sure you go to That's Just Lola. That's Just Lola. You should probably see it running around the screen. Go to That's Just Lola, www.that'sjustlola.com. That will take you straight to our YouTube page where you can view, subscribe, share, post a link on Facebook, all that stuff. The viewership is growing and increasing, so we are so excited about that.
Yes, we are.
That's cool. Y'all watching us. Y'all laughing with us. Y'all doing dances like Abraham said. Y'all should have seen Abraham do that. Abraham crossed his hands and did all like
little rhythm. That's our cameraman.
Stop
now he's going to sit down.
So we thank you again. Again, go to www.that'sjustlola.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and soon to be Periscope. I haven't figured out the Periscope thing yet. Somebody help me out with that. How about go to That's Just Lola and help me figure out how we can successfully do the Periscope thing in here because the reception is not that great. So thank you. So in the beginning, I mentioned that we talking about aging, getting older, getting better. Whatever we got to say to make ourselves feel better. Getting better, right? And so I had a conversation with a friend yesterday about, I don't know what that is.
That's
she just did.
Getting better.
Okay. That was looking like feeling a watermelon to see whether or not it was ripe or something, a cantaloupe. Okay. So I said that I was talking to somebody and that person was calling me by my first name and that person was half my age. And I don't think that's appropriate. Now,
so
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. So they were younger than you.
They were half young. They were half my age.
Yeah, I got it.
So they were half. That's what the hell.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
Okay. So they were half my age.
Well, no, I was going to tell you age, but then I was like,
I don't care. I'm 48.
Okay, so they're 24.
They were 25. So a little less than half my age, but that's not the point. I was old enough to be and am old enough to be the person's mother.
Okay.
Male
or female?
A female.
Okay.
My oldest child would have been 27 this year. So that's how I gauge it. I don't gauge it by a 23-year-old. I gauge it by a 27-year-old.
Okay.
And so, no, she'd have been 28. And so I didn't say anything when she was calling me Lola. But every time she said Lola in front, I would say Miss. In my head, I would go, Miss. I would say Miss. She say Lola. I say Miss in my head. I didn't say it out loud. And so my friend I was talking to said, why does that bother you? He was like, that sounds stupid. I get mad every time somebody call me sir. And I'm not. I do remember the first time somebody called me ma'am. Okay. Back to that first conversation. I was like, who you talking to?
Right.
You talking to me?
Looking around.
My
mother is not in the room.
Ma'am? Look, why are you calling me that? Right? That's what they call old people. But now I have the audacity. And I think one of the reasons is because I hate to beat up on y'all millennials again.
Oh, well.
But
they're used to it.
They are used to it. They got videos and all types of stuff all over the internet. Like somebody really give a damn about all that. Love y'all. But I've had them be what I feel like is too familiar. And to me, forget that I am your elder. Because I'm almost 50 years old. You understand? I don't look like it. But I am, right?
Well, see, then some people may say you want twofold. You want it both ways.
I don't know. I don't care if people call me ma'am anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me. Now I feel like I've earned it. I've earned the ma'am. You calling me by my first name, I feel like lazy. Okay, because there is a young person who does that. I'm not going to say who it is because the person may watch the show and I don't want them to feel bad. Okay. But there's a young person who does that, and I feel like because that person calls me by my first name, that they getting a little too familiar and a little too lax and a little bit too comfortable and making comments to me that I'm really, the whole time you're talking, I'm thinking, but you my child's age. Why we having that conversation? And every time again that person says my name, I go Miss in my head, right? or aunt,
Well,
right?
are the conversations inappropriate?
Sometimes I feel like the level of teasing or the level of joking
Okay.
is a little too
Disrespectful.
how we used to say back in the day, mannish.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Smelling yourself.
Yeah, a little
ain't
bit
you?
too mannish, and every time I want to say, but who you talking to? You're not talking to me. We're not peers.
But then why can't you just say that?
Because I don't
think
want
you
to
can
hurt their feelings.
I think that if you said that in a way that, you know, where they would understand it, that would be perfectly okay. And they don't then have to call you ma'am or miss as a result to just have respect. I don't think. I think it's all in how they see you, how you know, and that you say to them, I'm not your peer. You can't really.
And I do it. Anybody who's like 10 to 15 years older than me.
Oh yeah, I call everybody ma'am. You know that.
And that's
You
what
had
I
to stop
said.
me
but
from.
no, as a matter of fact, the person I had this conversation with said for me to bring it up because they didn't think that you were going to agree with me because you seemed real cool and hip. I said, she called everybody ma'am.
I call everybody ma'am.
So she's not going to have and see, that's my thing. I call everybody ma'am. I'll call somebody younger than me ma'am. If I'm in the store and she's behind the cash register.
So, well, see, that's what I was going to say. When my server comes up to the table, I'd be like, you know, if they say something, or when I was serving, rather, and I would come to the table and it would be a mother, a father, and a child, I would, yes, sir, what would you like? Yes, ma'am, what would you like? And yes, ma'am, what would you like? What else am I going to say to her?
Because to me, there's
yes,
no danger
child,
in that.
what do you want?
Right, because there's respect in that.
That's
so
it.
if the person says to you, don't call me no ma'am or don't call me sir, then okay. Then they've made that choice.
Right.
But it's not because I violated, I don't know where you coming from. Like you ever meet these women? This trips me out. Where you'll call them by their name and they'll say, I'm Mrs. Chandler. Because they married to somebody. Mm-hmm. You'll be like, bitch, your first name is Sarah.
Right.
Okay.
All right, Sarah Chandler.
So you really want me to call you Mrs. Whatever?
I can't
We
look
the
at
same
Abraham.
age? I know, right? You really want me to call you Mrs. Whatever your last name is? Or you'll say, oh, like I do presentations and stuff all the time. So you introduce people who are doing speaking engagements. Mm-hmm. So how do you want me to introduce you? Introduce me as Mrs. Chandler.
Oh, okay.
All right, then. So you want everybody coming up to you calling that, and why? And it's about that last name that they now carry. Yeah, because they're married to somebody. He might be a complete nitwit, but they excited about the fact that they're married to this fool. Eyes married now. And yeah, I don't really understand that. And so maybe that's a double standard for me too. But I just think y'all chime in, go to That's Just Lola,
please,
on Facebook, and tell us what you think. Do you think that people who are half your age should be calling you by your first name? And do you think that it's a breeding ground for a level of familiarity that you don't want to start? Because
it can be.
Yeah, because the jokes and see, I'm still not comfortable with 20-something-year-olds telling me jokes where they have bunches of curse words.
Really?
You know, I'm not there. Matter of fact, when we come back, I'm gonna tell you. I might get a chance to tell you before, but I'm gonna tell you this story about this young guy, because I was told to stop saying that. About this young guy that I went out on a date with, because he didn't know how old I was.
Oh, okay.
He had met me on LinkedIn.
Did you know how old he was?
I did.
Okay.
I did. That's all I'm gonna say. So I did. He used to be a professional football player.
Oh, okay.
And so he drove to meet me. He was coming here from another state.
Okay.
He drove to meet me. And the whole time we were sitting there talking to each other, we met for coffee. And he was talking and he kept using all these curse words. Now, he was 30 years old. Mm-hmm. So at the time, I think I was 16 years older than him. Okay. But he didn't know how old I was. But he just thought I was cool as hell. Mm-hmm. You know, he read my bio and all that kind of stuff. And so, long story short, he wanted to hang out afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't hang out with him because I was like, where I'm going with you. You know, I didn't say anything to him. I didn't say that to him, but that's how I felt. And so,
do you think it's because of all the curse words?
Part of it was the curse words. The curse words, I kept wanting to say, you shouldn't talk like that the first time you meet somebody. Mm-hmm. And you know how old I am, right? That's what I wanted to say to him.
He would have been like, okay, we're not going home together.
Right. But up until that point, he wanted me to go hang out with he and his friends, wherever they was going to hang out with at a college campus. He wanted me to come party with them. So when we come back, you guys, I'm going to finish telling y'all about this particular story because it actually panned out pretty well. And we're going to talk about some other good stuff too. So we'll be right back with some more That's Just Lola.